This is the one we've all been waiting for. When we look back at the entire run of Jujutsu Kaisen, there are moments that define the power scaling. And then there are moments that define the soul of the series. Maki Zenin's Massacre of the Zenin clan, the perfect preparation arc, is the latter. This wasn't just a fight. It was a visceral, bone-chilling liberation. Today, we're breaking down the full sequence, the evolution of Maki's combat style, and the sheer tragedy that fueled one of the most brutal stretches in shonen history. The breaking point. Why it had to happen. To understand the fight, you have to understand the rot at the heart of the Zenin clan. For years, they treated Maki like a stain on their noble bloodline because she lacked cursed energy. They didn't just neglect her, they actively tried to break her. But the Zenin clan's greatest mistake was their own arrogance. They believed power only came from cursed techniques, completely ignoring the dormant monster they were creating. The catalyst for the slaughter wasn't Maki's ambition, it was grief. The death of Mai Zenin is the emotional engine of this entire sequence. When Mai sacrificed herself, she took the remaining sliver of cursed energy Maki had with her. This completed the heavenly restriction. Maki didn't just get stronger, she became a zero cursed energy anomaly, a literal ghost in the system, and a perfect mirror of Toji Fushiguro. Phase 1. The Father and the Fallacy. The fight begins in the most personal way possible. Maki versus her father, Ogi Zenin. Ogi is the embodiment of the clan's hypocrisy. He blamed his children for his own failure to become the clan head. In their first encounter, he nearly killed both Maki and Mai. But after the awakening, the rematch lasted seconds. The beauty of this choreography is its simplicity. There are no flashy beams or complex domains. Maki simply moves faster than his eyes can track. When she slices through his sword and his head in one fluid motion, it's the first sign that the power balance has shifted irrevocably. Ogi's final thought was seeing the image of Toji in Maki. That fear, the realization that the failure they created was now their executioner, is a recurring theme throughout the slaughter. Phase 2. The Kukuru unit and the Hay. What followed wasn't a duel, it was a meat grinder. Maki moved through the Kukuru unit, the foot soldiers of the clan, like they were made of paper. Her combat style analysis: sensory dominance. Because she has zero cursed energy, Maki's other senses are heightened to a superhuman degree. She perceives changes in air pressure and temperature. She isn't just fast, she is reacting to things before they even happen. Weapon mastery. Using the soul-splitting katana, Maki ignores physical toughness. It doesn't matter how much cursed energy her opponents use to reinforce their bodies, her blade cuts the soul itself. Brute force. There's a weight to her movements that feels different from Yuji or Yuta. It's grounded, heavy, and terrifyingly efficient. Then came the Hay, the elite sorcerers of the clan. Junichi, Nobuaki, and Chojuro. These were grade 1 level sorcerers, and Maki took them all on simultaneously. The fight in the Zenin courtyard is a masterclass in spatial awareness. She uses their own techniques against them, moving through Junichi's massive fist projections as if they were stationary objects. This wasn't Maki fighting for her life, it was Maki clearing a path. Phase 3. The Climax. Maki versus Naoya. The final boss of this massacre was, fittingly, Naoya Zenin. Naoya is one of the most punchable characters in the series, but he was also incredibly dangerous. His projection sorcery made him the fastest man alive, post-Gojo. This fight is the highlight of the arc. Naoya's style is all about frame rates and freezing his opponents in time. He thought he could outspeed Maki just like he outsped everyone else. But he didn't realize that Maki had evolved past the rules of sorcery. Because she has no cursed energy, the frames of his technique don't apply to her in the same way. She felt the vibrations in the air to track his movement. The moment she caught him, stopping his momentum with a single punch, the Zenin clan was effectively dead. It was a total rejection of everything Naoya stood for: his misogyny, his elitism, and his obsession with speed. Maki's victory was a physical no to the entire Zenin philosophy. The aftermath and the monster archetype. When Maki walked away from the Zenin estate, she left nothing behind. She fulfilled Mai's final wish: destroy everything. But at what cost? This fight changed Maki's character forever. She stopped being the scrappy underdog and became a monster. She realized that to change the world of Jujutsu, you couldn't just work within the system. Sometimes, you had to burn the system to the ground. Her style from this point forward is cold and predatory. She is the ultimate hunter. Looking back at the series now, this massacre was the turning point that prepared the protagonist for the sheer insanity of the culling game. Without Maki becoming this monster, the heroes wouldn't have stood a chance. What did you think of MAPPA's adaptation of the Perfect Preparation arc? Did the animation capture the sheer brutality of the manga, or was it even more terrifying than you expected?